as much as possible to provide the details required. Because that is really our responsibility to provide the details required so that you can ask all the questions.
Use this
performing your role as representative of the state of Kenya.
But there's something you avoided talking about.
The issue of sensitization
in your submission
is one that
paragraph 69 talked about.
It's a new phenomenon.
Arabia.
We haven't really had this before. In situations where
my specific question is,
we haven't had a lot of work, especially in the road sector. Initiatives came up, and this is one of them that came from the sector to say it's also possible that could ring-fence part of the money to jumpstart the road sector. At the National Treasury, we know we have one of the pending bills verification committee to look at all pending bills from 2005
my second question again,
2022. And so far, the work is almost complete. They have the rest of this month to finish.
So that you can
they have already recommended about 2/3 of that to be settled through the budget. And along the way, we had this initiative that came on sensitizing the 7 shillings
this committee
of the RMN that was increased last year. And that went through the process, the cabinet approval. Of course, it has to still come to Parliament. And I think we have referred also to 12 shillings.
Yesterday, Chair, we had
means there is an additional 5 shillings being proposed also to be accommodated, so that a total of 12 shillings will be fair. My main technical person who has been handling this is
how much money
who is here, and I would like to give you the opportunity to answer that question.
Realize, because some of these contracts are already ongoing, contractors have been on site of how, and therefore at the end of the day, whether they are paid with the state loan, they still have claims on interest, idle labor, and all. And therefore, if a contract was what, let's say like $1 billion, by the time the contract is executed, we'll have paid like $2 billion. So, the very essence of borrowing that money is now put into jeopardy. It's of no use. Because now we'll be paying loans in terms, as much as the Constitution defines what public debt is.
What is the cost?
Part of public debt is what the government has guaranteed. And here, this should disturb every Kenyan. Because KQ is a business entity whose shareholding is in question. They will earn dividends. Whose money are they going to earn dividends from? They are supposed to take care of their... they are supposed to take care of their business for polite use of language. But I think we need to be harder than that here. Because it cannot be that the Kenyan people are bearing burdens of business people who are making profit. This contract by our colleague, who is now a cabinet secretary, John Badi, we need to look at it from deeper lenses. And Kenya Airways must appear before this committee, so that then we delve into this issue. We cannot continue doing this here.
This committee.
Thank you very much. Let me ask the PS. And we were starting our work. One of the reasons that we have been giving you a benefit of doubt is because things were happening and you are not there and you are trying to understand the process. I just want to ask the PS that if you see Annex 6, we have paid commitment fees of 770 million for undisbursed loan of 185 billion. So I wanted to ask the PS, since you have been there for the last 3 years, you had an opportunity to reduce the commitment fees for the people of Kenya, because each financial year we always pay over 700 million commitment fees for undisbursed loans of
The
over
very essence of
185
borrowing
million.
that money
What
is,
measures have you
now
taken?
jeopardy. It's of no
What
use.
measures have you
Because
taken
now
since you are there for the last 3 years
you know,
to save the
as much
country
as, the
this
Constitution,
kind of an exposure for
defines
the
what
commitment
public debt
fees
is.
and for the undisbursed
Part of
loans?
public debt is what the government
Have you engaged the
guaranteed.
parent ministries that this loan were
They
taken
should
on
be
their
stamped
behalf,
every Kenyan. Because
so that
thank you
this money can help
is a business
to
entity
develop our countries
whose
for the loans that was
shareholding will
taken
earn
for this
dividends.
purpose? Thank you.
Whose money are they going to earn dividends from?
National
They are
government.
supposed to take care of their.
From your presentation number 57,
You
said
they're
that,
supposed to take care of their business
there was a petition
for
contested
polite use of
on
language.
privatization.
But I think we need to be harder than that, Chair.
Around
Because it cannot be that the Kenyan people
just be curious to
are
know if
bearing
there
burdens of
is
business
any
people
strategic
who are
partnership
making
agreement
profit.
that will proceed
This contract by our colleague,
signed.
who is now a cabinet secretary, John Badi,
As much as possible
we need to look at it
to provide the
deep
details
length.
required.
And Kenya
That
Rail
is
must
really,
appear before this committee. So
Uh,
that then we
we
deal
need to
with
provide
this.
the
We
details
cannot
required
continue
so that,
doing this, Chair.
You can ask all the questions.
Let me ask the PS.
In performing your role
When
as
we were starting
Secretary of the People of
our work,
Kenya.
one of the reasons that we have
The
been
issue
giving
of,
you a benefit of doubt
Securitization
because things were
is
happening
one that
and you are not there and you are trying
is a new
to
phenomenon.
understand
We
the
haven't
process.
really had this.
I just want to ask the
And
PS that
in situations
if
where
you see Annex 6,
we haven't had a
we
lot
have,
of
we have
work,
paid
especially the road
commitment fees
initiatives
of
came up. This is one of them that came from the
770 million
sector to say
for undisbursed
it's also
loans
possible that,
of 185 million.
raise
185
could ring-fence
billion.
part of the money to
So I
jumpstart
wanted
the
to
road
ask
sector.
the PS,
At the National Treasury,
since you have been there for the last 3 years,
pending bills verification,
you had an opportunity
to look at all
to reduce
pending
the
bills
commitment
from
fees
2005 up to
for the people of the people of
and,
Kenya,
so far,
because each financial year
almost
we always pay over 700 million
they have the
commitment
rest of
fees
this month.
for undisbursed
But
loans
they have already
of over
recommended
185 billion.
about 230
What
billion
measures have you taken?
of that
What
to be-
measures have you taken since you are there for the last 3 years to save the country this
And,
kind of an exposure for the commitment
we-
fees and for the undisbursed
Along the way,
loans?
we had this
Have you
initiative
engaged
that
the
came
parent
on
ministries
exercising the
that
7 shillings
this loan were
of
taken
the
on their
RMLF,
behalf,
which was increased last year.
so that this
And,
money can
that
help
went through
to
the
develop
process
our
with
countries
cabinet approval.
for the
Of
loans
course,
that was
uh,
taken for this
It
purpose.
has to still come
Thank you.
to Parliament. And I think we have referred also to 12 shillings.
And from your presentation
It
number
means there is an
57,
additional 5
you
shillings
said that
being proposed
there was a
to be
petition
accommodated, so that
contested
a total
on
of 12 shillings will be
privatization.
fenced. My main technical person who has been handling this is DG